everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So not to put a damper on this specific video, but I kind of need to address a couple of things before I jump into this video. I am very open about this channel, and I am very honest with you guys and raw with you guys, and I try my very hardest to be as welcoming as I can and transparent as I can when it comes to new information or being critiqued on something I may have gotten wrong. I want you guys to remember that these cases are unsolved for a reason. There is a lot of controversy and conspiracies around them. There's a lot of confusing information. There's holes in the cases. You know, it's a very confusing type of subject to speak about because a lot of the research that I do, and I have stated this in a video before, I find very contradictory information all across the internet. And I also stated that I do my absolute hardest to find the most true, to my knowledge, information that I possibly can to relate to you guys. However, that being said, with the nature of these types of cases and the media being the way that it is and the little amount of, I guess you could say, information I'm able to find on these cases that has been released by the police and parents of victims and friends of victims and all of that, I try my hardest to make sure I'm getting you guys proper information, and I make it a point in every single one of my videos to let you guys know to correct me if I am wrong down below. It's just the nature of these types of videos and these types of cases and situations where it is very possible that I could state something wrong, and it is very, very possible that things can change in time. You saw that in my Amelia Earhart video last week, that in the course of a week of me researching, all of a sudden there was new evidence. That's a huge change. In the case I'm about to do now, there has been a huge change within the past 2 weeks. These cases are constantly being researched and put under a microscope, and things are ruled out, new things are introduced, and that is how these cases work. When I get something wrong, I ask you guys respectfully to let me know in the comments that I got it wrong, because I am open to critique, and this is not about me, this is about relaying factual information, and I would love to be able to correct myself if I did relay something improperly. However, there is a point where it is not appropriate, I guess you could say, anymore. I also let you guys know that I have my business email linked down below, and that email is for your ideas, your theories, if you want to tell me. It's for cases you want me to do, anything like that. However, it is not for personal attack. I already knew getting into these videos that I was going to have a lot of issues with people having problems with me speaking about these cases in general. They're obviously very heartbreaking for a lot of people, and a lot of people who have gone through it probably have issues with other people talking about it. To me, these cases happened. These cases are real, and they are still unsolved, and there is absolutely zero issue with trying to be a part of the solution. Also, being my channel, I have chosen to put my personal opinion out there on every single one of those videos. Obviously, I've tried very, very, very hard and pride myself in being very tactful about how I do it and very respectful of people involved and just the situation in general, because obviously I don't have any negative intentions with these videos, and I try my best. I do my best, do good by everyone all the way around in all of these videos. If you have an opposing opinion to what I think in the videos, I encourage you to comment it down below, because once again, the more ideas, the more theories, the more people talk about it, the higher possibility that something can be solved. However, I'm asking you guys right now to never use my email as a way to verbally attack me, or use my email to try to scare me into being quiet. It's not appropriate, and I don't ever want it to get to a point where I feel like I can't even do my videos on my channel, because no matter what I say, whether it's opinion or not, I'm going to be attacked and ridiculous emails. So this isn't something that I really wanted to address, and I debated talking about it for a while, but I think it's really, really necessary. You know, I don't want to have to take my business email out. I don't want to have to go to some extent some people have to do, where I turn off commenting, because that's half the reason why I love this channel so much, and half the reason that I love you guys so much is because you are so active and you are so interested in this and you're so helpful and you guys are so smart. Please do not abuse my information being out there so you can use it to privately attack me. I'm fine. Like, if for anyone concerned, I am totally fine. I understand when someone is projecting very negative emotions onto me and trying to scare me. Like, it is what it is. It's unfortunate that someone felt the need to do that. However, you know, I just wanted to let you guys know that that's not what that email is there for. Please do not use it as such, because if that keeps happening, I'm going to have to just take the email out of the equation. It's easy to delete comments or put in keywords that I don't want to see in comments, but when it comes to private emails, that's a totally different thing. But now that that's over with, I wanted to go ahead and get onto the topic. I am so sorry I even had to add that in here. Like, I still am like sitting here contemplating whether I want to delete that out, but I think it's very important, because that's not fair to me, honestly. It's not. And so that's that. Today's video is on Zebb Quinn, and I'm sure a ton of you have actually already heard about this. There are a couple of videos already out on YouTube about it, but there's been a huge shift in the case in the past 2 weeks. I was not going to do this anymore because of the shift, but I asked on Twitter what you guys thought, and you still wanted me to do the video, so here I am. On January 2nd, 2000, Zebb Quinn left his work at around 9 p.m. He worked at Walmart, and he met up with his friend Robert Owens. Owens actually also worked at Walmart. They had known each other for a really long time, and Quinn said that he wanted to go and look at a new car. He was thinking about purchasing one, and Owens actually said he knew of one closer to where he lived. And at 9 p.m. they decided to go ahead and go check this car out. They decided to take separate cars, and on they went. The last time that Quinn was actually seen was at a gas station. They stopped, got like some sodas, I think some crackers, a couple of other things, and security footage did see them both there and see them both get in their separate cars and leave, but that is the last time anyone has seen Zebb. So in Owens' statement, he says that on the way to see the car, Quinn actually started flashing his lights at Owens, signaling him to pull over. Owens said that when he pulled over, Quinn was like really kind of like irritated or upset, agitated. He said that he had gotten a page and needed to go find a payphone to call someone real quick. So Owens supposedly waited where he was, and Quinn returned back 10 minutes later. According to Owens, Quinn bumped his car on the way back and then got out kind of distressed, said, "I'm so sorry, I will pay for that, but I have to leave. I cannot go look at the car tonight," and he drove off. So that was Owens' statement about how the events unraveled. The next day, Quinn never showed up for work at Walmart, and his family knew him and knew how he was, immediately knew something was wrong, so they went ahead and filed a missing persons report. So strangely enough, it turned out that Owens had been treated at the hospital a couple of hours after the last time he supposedly saw Quinn. He was treated for a head injury and broken ribs, and he came in on his own. He didn't call 911, he just showed up, had a head injury and broken ribs. He said that it happened in a car accident that happened after the little fender bender with Quinn. He claimed it happened by this Waffle House, and after further police investigation, there were no reported accidents, so there is no telling if what he was saying was actually true. However, the hospital did say for a fact that his injuries did not match up with injuries that you would get in a car accident. So when I was researching this to me immediately stood out as something is very wrong with this Owens guy. There is something not right with the way that things went down with him. I found it very strange that he just showed up at the hospital with injuries. He claimed he got into a second car accident. Like, the chances of getting into a second car accident, and the way he said it went down is just kind of bizarre. So to make this guy seem even sketchier, 2 days after Quinn disappeared, Walmart got a phone call, and it was from someone that claimed to be Quinn calling in sick to work. Well, the manager immediately knew it wasn't him. He recognized the voice, said that was totally not Quinn. So the manager star 69 the call and ended up going back to Owens' phone. When Owens gave a statement about this, he said that Quinn had told him to call in sick, yet he also stated that he had no contact with Quinn since the last time he saw him the night that he disappeared. So totally contradictory statements almost right off of the bat, and just very sketchy activity in general. After Owens gave his initial statement and talked to the police about this phone call that he made to Walmart, he completely stopped being cooperative with police, which to me should have been another big ol' red flag. Strangely enough, 2 weeks later, Quinn's car was actually found, and this, I can't figure a lot of this case out, like, at all, for the life of me. Like, none of it really makes a lot of sense. His car was found. There was a pair of lips drawn on the back of it, and there was, inside of the car, a puppy. Just like a live puppy inside the car. They also found a plastic hotel key, some drinking bottles, a jacket that didn't belong to him, and some hair. When it comes to this car, it was parked right across the street from a hospital that Quinn's grandmother and sister worked at. So, to me, this car was screaming to be found. It was placed at a place where relatives of this missing person would see it and immediately get excited and run over to it. And to draw even more attention to it, it had been drawn all over and there was a dog inside of it. Because I don't know about you guys, but if I see a dog sitting in a car for an extended period of time, I'm going to call the cops about it. So to me, this car wanted to be found, or whoever placed it there wanted it to be found. So with a lot of investigation, they found out that the page that Quinn had received actually originated from his aunt's house. So when they questioned the aunt, even more bizarre things started coming to light. She actually had an alibi and was not in the house at the time of the page, so that also is very, very strange to me. She was over at a friend's house eating dinner. When they were trying to find anyone who might have had issues with Quinn, they came upon a girl named Misty Taylor. She apparently was really, really good friends with Quinn. However, there had been a recent confrontation between her boyfriend and Quinn. Wesley Smith was the name of her boyfriend, and I guess he had an issue with their relationship and confronted Quinn about it. Quinn was talking to family members about it, saying he was really upset, so on and so forth. There's speculation that he might have had like a crush on her, but all of that's just kind of like unknown guest information. So my first thought when looking at this case, other than Owens is sketchy and something's definitely up with him, is maybe Wesley had an issue with Quinn talking to his girlfriend, had something to do with his disappearance. Strangely enough, Quinn's aunt was at Misty Taylor's aunt's house, and Misty Taylor and her boyfriend Wesley Smith were there, and they were all having dinner together. So to me, that means that Misty Taylor and Wesley Smith didn't have anything physically to do with what happened to Quinn. The only person that didn't have an alibi anymore, or basically anything pointing towards he didn't do anything, is now Owens. Obviously, police kind of knew something was up with this guy. He had a lot of sketchy information. He was not being very cooperative. He had basically dug himself in a hole multiple times with calling work and pretending to be Quinn days after his disappearance, and showing up to the hospital with some pretty serious injuries the night that Quinn went missing. So in 2007, they actually got a warrant to search an area on the Owens property with a ground-piercing radar. There had been searches before, and for some reason 7 years later they had something that they were going off of to go back and use a ground-piercing radar. To me, that says that they're looking for a body. So I think they at the time had very, very strong suspicions that Owens had something to do with it. However, this search brought up absolutely nothing. Then in 2015, one of Owens' relatives actually contacted the police and said at the time of Quinn's disappearance, Owens decided to dig a pond and then very shortly afterwards filled it with concrete. Does this not scream homicide to anybody else? Like, am I like crazy? Am I on like a different planet? Because every single one of these things to me screams this dude has killed Quinn. This guy has had to have killed Quinn. Why are his actions and behavior so incredibly bizarre? When they did that search, they actually uncovered some fabric. They didn't really say if it had anything to do with the case. They just said they found some leather, like small pieces of fabric, but supposedly that is all they found at the 2015 search. So, hold on to your seatbelts because this is about to get more effed up. Later in 2015, Owens was actually charged and sent to jail for the murder of another couple and their unborn baby. Christy and Joseph Codd had gone missing in Asheville, and all fingers ended up pointing to Owens, and their remains were actually found in a stove on Owens' property. This guy has got some severe issues. When this happened, I think they immediately knew essentially what had happened to Quinn. Unfortunately, I don't think there was enough evidence at the time for them to do anything about it, but Owens was in fact charged and sent to prison for murdering Christy and Joseph Codd. So they apparently were his neighbors. They lived not too far down the road from Owens, so they essentially knew each other, and I don't understand what drove Owens to do something like that, but like I've stated before, people who commit these crimes and murder people and kidnap people, their way of thinking is not rational, so I don't really think there's any rational way to explain why they did what they did. They just, in their mind, they thought it was okay, and they just did it. Coming back to Quinn's case, there was absolutely nothing pointing to him having just up and left. He was very, very close with his family. When he left, he literally took absolutely nothing with him. No money, no clothes, no anything. So there was not a single thing indicating that this was him willingly leaving. So the only thing that confused me about this case is I couldn't figure out any motive. I can't seem to think of any ideas as to why Owens would want to murder Zebb Quinn. There's literally nothing that shows that they had a negative relationship. So there's a lot of theories out there, and one of the theories is that Wesley actually potentially hired Owens to do this. Quinn had told multiple people, including loved ones, that Wesley Smith was actually abusive to Misty Taylor, very, very abusive. Wesley obviously got infuriated over that and threatened Quinn. So a lot of people think that what happened is that Owens was actually hired by Wesley Smith. They sent some other third party to go over to the aunt's house because they knew she would be somewhere else and made sure of it because they were with her, and made that call to distract Quinn, and essentially that gave Owens a chance to murder him. Think about it. It was Owens' idea to go to this specific car down this kind of like sketchy, very lone road, and I am sure, honestly, that Owens did not expect to be harmed in this process. So that's why he came up with the idea that he had gotten into a car accident after Zeb disappeared. I'm sorry if like the angles and my positioning in this video keeps changing. My leg will not stop falling asleep, and I keep having to like lay flat on the floor to make it go away. But that being said, that leads me to today. Owens was actually indicted for the murder of Zebb Quinn. Now, police are not releasing like any information on this, but just as a little bit of an insight, when it comes to murder cases, you pretty much have nothing unless you have physical evidence and a motive, at least, especially if there is no body. They have to have some pretty serious evidence that they are not disclosing yet to be able to actually indict him in general. Now, I want you to understand that indicting is not the same as being convicted. He is essentially just officially being charged for the murder of Zebb Quinn. So this should be a very interesting trial and case, and if I can get my hands or any way on watching it or getting more information about it, I'll probably do a follow-up video. This just goes to show you that persistence is key when it comes to missing persons cases or unsolved mysteries and murders. You don't know. The answer could have been in front of your face the whole entire time, which is what is happening with Owens, and it just takes finding the right information. You never know. I'm sure after 17 years, a lot of people assumed that this case was not going to be solved. However, 17 years later, someone is now indicted for the murder of Zebb Quinn. So let me know what you think down below. To me, it was very obvious that Owens had something to do with it from the beginning. I don't personally think Misty Taylor or Wesley Smith had anything to do with it. I only base that judgment on the fact that Owens did end up murdering another couple later on in his life. I feel like, unfortunately, he is just one of those people that is almost pre-programmed to commit those sort of crimes. And let me know what you think is going to happen in court, because to me, I'm about 98% sure that regardless of the amount of evidence, I feel like he's going to be convicted of the crime pretty quickly in the trial. I wanted to know if you guys would be interested in me doing like live, I guess, broadcasts, like going live on YouTube or You Now, and kind of talking about some of my videos after they've been posted. You guys talk a ton in the comments down below. You guys have a lot of awesome theories, and it's just kind of hard though to address every single one of them and kind of have a conversation about it. So I was thinking that maybe what we could start doing is I will be posting my videos obviously on Saturdays at around noon, and maybe we can think of a day later on and then following week where we have kind of like a live conversation on some sort of live streaming source, whether it's You Now or on YouTube. Not exactly sure which at this point in time, but that we could discuss what's going on, and you guys can talk to each other about it, and I can actually respond to some of your questions and theories and state what I think about it. I don't know, I think that would be kind of cool. It's almost like a follow-up to my video, and I don't know. Let me know what you guys think below, and I think it would be especially awesome to do in situations like this where there is an ongoing case and we could talk about his potential conviction. Let me know what you guys think down below. But I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe. Hit that big thumbs up button. It helps me so much. Thank you so much also for 300 subscribers. This channel is moving a lot faster than I thought it was going to, and I am so incredibly thankful for that. Don't forget to check me out on all my social media. I let Instagram know when I'm filming and what I am filming a day early. You guys can kind of get a sneak peek into what my video is going to be. Also, go and check me out on Twitter because I do polls all the time and get your opinions on what different cases I should do. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!